O'Bunry was a quiet village. People woke up early. They went to the farm. They worked hard. They came back home before night. Everything was normal. But there was one man who was not normal. His name was James. James lived with his wife in a small house near his farm. He was a quiet man. He did not talk too much. He did not laugh with others. He just worked and went home. At first, nobody noticed anything strange. But one day, something happened. A woman who was passing near James's farm stopped. She saw James digging the ground. It was evening. The sun was going down. "Why is he digging now?" she asked herself. She hid behind a tree and watched. James kept digging. He did not stop. His face looked serious. Then, his wife came. She was walking slowly. Very slowly. The woman watching felt something was wrong. James did not greet his wife. He did not smile. He just looked at her, quietly. Then something very strange happened. James helped his wife lie down inside the hole. The woman behind the tree covered her mouth. "What is this?" she whispered. James did not look scared. He did not look angry. He looked like a man doing normal work. He picked sand and started covering his wife. Slowly, calmly. His wife did not shout. She did not fight. She just lay there. Still. Soon, the whole body was covered. James stood up. He looked at the ground for some time. Then he turned and walked away like nothing happened. The woman ran back to the village. She was shaking. "I saw something bad," she shouted. People gathered around her. "What happened?" they asked. She spoke fast. "James buried his wife." The people were shocked. "That is not possible," one man said. "You are lying," another said. But the woman kept shaking her head. "I saw it with my own eyes." That night, nobody slept well. The next morning, some men went to check. They walked quietly to James's farm. When they got there, they froze. James's wife was there, alive, walking. She looked normal. She greeted them. "Good morning," she said. The men looked at each other. Nobody spoke. One of them whispered, "Did we not hear she was buried?" Another said, "Maybe it was a lie." But something did not feel right. Her smile was slow. Her eyes looked tired. And the way she stood, it felt strange. From that day, people started watching James. Every evening, the same thing happened. Before sunset, James dug the ground. His wife came. She lay down. He covered her with sand. And in the morning, she came back again. Alive, like nothing happened. Now the whole village was afraid. People stopped going near his farm. Children were warned to stay away. Even strong men avoided that place. They started talking in low voices. "That man is not normal. Something is wrong in that house. This is not ordinary." Some people said, "Maybe he is doing juju." Others said, "Maybe his wife is not even human." Days passed. The fear grew bigger. But James did not stop. Not even one day. Rain or no rain. Tired or not tired. He kept doing it. Same time, same way. Like someone who had no choice. One evening, a man tried to call him. "James, why are you doing this?" he shouted. James stopped. Slowly, he turned. He looked at the man. His eyes were cold. Then he said only one thing. "If I stop, you will all cry." The man felt fear run through his body. James turned back and continued covering the ground. After that day, nobody asked him again. Because now, it was no longer just strange. It was something else. Something no one could understand. And deep down, everyone in O'Bunry knew one thing. This was not madness. This was something worse. Something was wrong. Very wrong. And it had just begun. After some days, the whole village of O'Bunry changed. People were no longer happy like before. They still went to the farm. They still worked. But now, they talked in whispers. Anytime someone said the name James, voices became low. "Keep quiet. Do you want him to hear you?" Fear had entered the village. At first, people tried to ignore it. They said, "It is not our business." But slowly, things began to feel wrong. One woman said she saw James's wife early in the morning. "She greeted me," the woman said, "but her voice, It sounded like she was learning how to speak. Another man said, I saw her walking, but the way she moved, it was like a baby trying to walk for the first time. People looked at each other. Nobody laughed, because deep inside, they knew it was not normal. Soon, people started avoiding the road near James's farm. That road used to be busy. Now it was empty, even in the day. If someone had to pass there, they would walk very fast. No stopping, no looking around. Just go. In the market, women stopped mentioning his name loudly. One said, that man is not okay. Another quickly said, shh, don't say it like that. Do you want problem? Now people were scared, not just of James, but of his wife. Something else started happening. Small things. Strange things. One evening, a goat ran into James's farm. The owner followed it. But when he got close, he stopped. He saw James's wife standing there. Just standing, not moving, not blinking, looking at nothing. The man called softly, Madam. She turned slowly, too slowly. Then she smiled. But the smile was not right. It was too wide, too still. Like someone copying how a smile should look. The man felt cold. He quickly grabbed his goat and ran. Later, he told others, that woman, no be normal again. Days passed. More people started noticing things. She does not laugh like before. She does not talk like before. She just repeats things sometimes. She forgets simple things. One old woman said something that made everyone quiet. She said, that is not a sickness. Everyone looked at her. She continued, that is something learning. Nobody spoke after that, because what she said felt true. Even at night, people started hearing things. Soft sounds, like someone talking. Slowly, practicing words, again and again, from the direction of James's farm. One man said, I heard a voice saying, good morning, good morning, good morning, in the night. Another said, I heard laughter, but it did not sound human. Now fear was everywhere. People started locking their doors early, very early, before sunset. No more late walking, no more visiting neighbors at night. Some even said, maybe James is not protecting us. Maybe he is hiding something from us. But nobody had the courage to go and ask him, because they remembered what he said. If I stop, you will all cry. Now people began to understand. James was not doing it for nothing. There was a reason, a serious reason, and whatever it was getting stronger, every day, every night. In Obanri, nobody said it out loud, but everyone was thinking the same thing. Something is growing, and very soon, it may not stay hidden anymore. The fear in Obanri did not stop. It kept growing. People were tired of guessing. They wanted to know the truth. But nobody was brave enough to face James. Until one day, something changed. It was late afternoon. The sky was turning orange. A group of men stood together. They looked at each other. No more fear, one said. We must know what is going on, another said. Even though their hearts were shaking, they agreed. That evening, they went to James's farm. James was already there, digging. Same place, same time, same silence. The men stood far at first. Nobody spoke. The sound of the shovel hitting the ground was the only thing they could hear. Dig, dig, dig. Finally, one man gathered courage. James, he called. James stopped. Slowly, he lifted his head. He looked at them. No smile, no anger, just tired eyes. Leave this place, James said quietly. But the men did not move. Another man spoke. We are not here to fight. We just want to understand. James said nothing. Then his wife came. Walking slowly, like always. She stood near the hole, waiting. The men watched closely. Their hearts were beating fast. James looked at them again. Then he said, if you want to understand, then watch. He helped his wife lie inside the hole. She did not resist. She did not speak. She just went down, like someone who already knew what to do. The men were shaking, but they did not run. James picked sand and started covering her. Slowly, carefully. like someone doing something very important. Halfway through, one man shouted, "Stop! This is wrong!" James stopped. He turned. And this time, his voice was stronger. "You think I don't know it is wrong?" he said. "You think I enjoy this?" The men became quiet. They had never heard him speak like that before. James continued, "This is the only way she stays." "Herself?" The men frowned. They did not understand. "What do you mean?" one asked. James looked at the ground. Then he said slowly, "My wife is not fully my wife anymore." Cold fear filled the air. "At night," James continued, "something else wakes up inside her." The men stepped back. "It started small," James said. "She would forget things. She would talk in her sleep. She would laugh at nothing." He paused. Then he looked at them again. "One night, I saw it." The men leaned closer. "She was standing outside," James said. "But the way she stood, it was not her." His voice became low. "She was talking, but not like a human." Silence. "I called her name," James said. "She turned and smiled." The men held their breath. That smile was not my wife's smile. A cold wind passed. James continued, "That night, I knew something had entered her." "What did you do?" one man asked. James looked at the grave. "I tried to hold her," he said. "I tried to bring her back." His voice shook a little. "But she became stronger than me." The men were now very afraid. "So I went to an old man," James said. "A man who understands things like this." He did not say the name. "The man told me the truth," James continued. "He said, 'Something is growing inside her.'" The men's hearts pounded. "And if I don't stop it," James said, "it will take over completely." "How do you stop it?" one asked. James looked at the grave again. "By putting it back where it cannot move," he said. The men looked down. "The ground," one whispered. James nodded. "In the day, she is still herself," he said. "But at night, it learns." He raised his head slowly. "It watches, it listens, it practices." The men remembered the strange voices at night. James's voice became heavy. "And every night I fail, it becomes stronger." Silence covered the place. One man spoke with fear. "What happens if it becomes complete?" James did not answer immediately. He looked at them one by one. Then he said quietly, "It will no longer need her body." The men froze. "And when that happens," James added, "it will not stop at my house." No one spoke again. Now they understood. This was not madness. This was not a joke. This was not a story. This was something real, something dangerous. James picked his shovel again. "I am not doing this because I want to," he said. "I am doing this because I have to." Then he continued covering the grave. The men slowly stepped back. No one argued. No one questioned. As they walked away, one of them whispered, "So all this time, he has been protecting us?" Another replied, "Or delaying something worse." Behind them, James stood over the covered ground, quiet, still, watching, like a man who knew that one day, this would not be enough anymore. After that day, nobody disturbed James again. People now knew the truth. But knowing the truth did not bring peace. It brought more fear. In Obanri, evenings became very quiet. Before, people used to sit outside and talk. Now, once the sun started going down, everybody went inside. Doors closed early, windows shut tight. "Don't stay outside," people warned each other. "Night is not safe again." James did not change. Every evening, same thing. Dig, wait, bury. But now people understood something. The real problem starts after sunset. When darkness comes, something wakes up. That night, something strange happened. A man who lived far from others could not sleep. He kept turning on his bed. Then he heard a sound. Soft. Very soft. "Hello?" The man sat up. "Who is there?" he asked. No answer. Then again. "Hello?" The voice sounded like a woman. But something was wrong. It was too slow, too careful, like someone trying to learn how to talk. The man's body became cold. He stood up slowly. He moved to the window. Outside, It was dark, but he could see a shape, standing far, not moving. He looked closely. His heart almost stopped. It looked like James's wife, but that was not possible. She was supposed to be buried. The man whispered, "No, no, no." Then the thing raised its head, slowly, and it smiled. That same wrong smile. The man quickly shut his window. He ran back to his bed. He covered himself with his cloth. He did not sleep till morning. The next day, he told people. But nobody was surprised, because others had started hearing things too. Soft footsteps at night, strange voices, whispers that did not sound human. One woman said, "I heard someone calling my name, but when I checked, nobody was there." Another said, "I heard laughter near my door, but my whole family was inside." Fear was now everywhere. People began to understand something new. The ground was not fully holding it anymore. That same evening, James noticed something. When he went to dig the grave, the soil was already disturbed. He stopped. He looked down. The ground looked like something had moved inside, slowly, carefully. James's hand tightened on the shovel. "That is not good," he whispered. His wife came. Same slow walk, same quiet face. But today, something was different. Her eyes, they looked sharper, more aware, like someone who now understands more than before. She looked at James and smiled. "Good evening," she said. The words were clear, too clear. James froze. Before, her voice was weak, slow, broken. But now, it sounded almost perfect. James quickly helped her into the grave, faster than usual. As he covered her with sand, he spoke quietly, "You will not win." But from inside the ground, a soft voice answered, "We are learning." James stopped. His heart pounded hard. That voice, it was not just his wife. It sounded like something else speaking through her. He quickly finished covering the grave, packed the soil tightly, pressed it down hard. Then he stepped back, breathing fast. For the first time, James was afraid. That night, the village did not sleep. Dogs barked without stopping. Goats made noise. Even the wind sounded strange. And from far, near the farm, some people heard it. A voice, soft, slow, practicing. Walk, talk, smile. Again, and again, and again, like something preparing, like something getting ready. By morning, everywhere was quiet again. James went to the grave. He stood there for a long time. Before digging, when he finally brought his wife out, she looked normal, too normal. She looked at him and smiled gently. "Good morning," she said. Perfect. No mistake. No delay. James felt something break inside him, because now he knew the truth. It was no longer just learning, it was improving. Fast, and soon. Very soon. The ground would not be enough to stop it anymore. After many days, something finally went wrong. Not small wrong, big wrong. That day started like any other day. The sun came out. People went to the farm. Nobody smiled much anymore. Fear had already become normal. James woke up early. He went to the grave. He stood there for a long time. Then he started digging. When he brought his wife out, she looked fine. She even smiled. But James did not smile back. Something inside him was not settled. All day, he kept thinking. He worked, but his mind was not there. He remembered the voice from the ground. "We are learning." He shook his head. "No, no," he said quietly. Evening came, faster than he expected. Clouds covered the sky. The sun was going down, but not clearly. Time was hard to tell. James hurried to the farm. But today, he was late. Just a little late. But in this kind of matter, even small lateness is dangerous. He dropped his tools and started digging fast. His hands were shaking. "Hurry! Hurry!" he whispered. The hole was not ready yet. Then, he heard footsteps. Slow, coming closer. He froze. He did not turn immediately, because deep inside, he already knew. Still, he turned. His wife was standing there, but something was wrong. Very wrong. She was not walking slowly like before. She was standing straight, strong, still. Her eyes were sharp, watching him, and her smile, it came too fast. "Good evening, James," she said. The voice was smooth, clear, perfect, too perfect. James stepped back. "You came early," he said slowly. She tilted her head. "No," she replied softly. "You are the one who is late." Cold fear ran through James's body. This had never happened before. Never. He quickly pointed to the hole. "Lie down," he said. But she did not move. She just stood there, looking at him. Then she laughed. Not loud, but wrong. "You still think you can control this?" she asked. James felt his legs weaken. This was no longer his wife speaking. "Go inside," James shouted. "Now!" But she took a step forward instead. One step, and that one step felt heavy, like something powerful had moved. "You are tired," she said. "You cannot keep doing this forever." James shook his head. "I will not stop," he said. She smiled again, wider this time. "We know," she said. James froze. "We, not I." Now he was sure. It was no longer hiding. He grabbed his shovel, not to fight, but to protect himself. "Go inside the grave," he said again, his voice shaking. She looked at the hole, then back at him, then slowly. She walked toward it, step by step, but this time, it did not feel like obedience. It felt like a game, like something pretending to listen. She stood at the edge of the hole. Then she looked back at James and whispered, "One day, I will not come back here." James's heart pounded hard. She slowly lay down inside the grave. But even inside, her eyes were still open, watching him, watching everything. James quickly started covering her, faster than ever before. His hands were shaking badly, as the sand covered her face. She was still smiling, still watching, until the sand covered everything. James did not stop there. He packed the ground harder, pressed it down, stamped on it, again and again, like a man trying to hold something inside. Finally, he stepped back, breathing heavily. Night came. That night, something new happened. The ground started shaking, small at first, then stronger. James stood far away, watching. The soil moved, like something inside was pushing, trying hard. James whispered, "No, please." Then suddenly, it stopped. Everything became quiet again. Too quiet. James did not sleep that night. He just sat there, watching the ground, waiting, because now he knew the truth. He was losing control. And that thing inside was no longer waiting. It was ready to come out, anytime. After that night, nothing felt safe again. Not the houses, not the farms, not even the morning. James did not leave the farm. He stayed close to the grave, watching, waiting. His eyes were red. He had not slept. "I must not make another mistake," he said, quietly. Morning came. Slowly, the sun rose. Birds made small sounds. Everything looked normal. But James knew it was not normal. He walked to the grave. He stood there for a long time, before digging. Then he started. When he brought his wife out, she sat up slowly. Then she stood. She looked perfect. Too perfect. Her clothes were clean. Her face was calm. Her eyes were bright. She looked at James and smiled. "Good morning, my husband," she said. The words were smooth, natural, like nothing had ever been wrong. James felt cold inside.